already on the side of monsters and legends.
We're at the right place, in the monstrous lair of her childhood. What do you know about her?
Her name was Marguerite, and she was born not far from here, in 1860, near Château-l'Évêque. And she was raised in an upper-middle-class family, but her mother was odd.
She was completely crazy, you mean? She heard voices. She was only taking care of her piano and her embroidery hoop. She didn't care about her house, nor about her daughter. Marguerite grew up alone in a large, dark, damp house, in an abandoned park with wild grass, with a stagnant pool of water. Brought up among the terrifying creatures of Périgueux legend. Lame and mute, she was nicknamed the Two Shadow.
What does that mean?
Moody, mysterious, taciturn.
A bit like her father, wasn't she?
He was mostly a bastard, to the dismay of his in-laws. But he was also a military man, a cavalry colonel, who always regretted not having had a boy, who taught her how to use weapons, to go riding and hunting.
Here's a first paradox. A daughter of the provincial bourgeoisie raised as a tomboy.
As much as she struggled with her crazy mother, she adored her father. She always wanted to please him. At the age of 7, she asked to have her hair cut short to look like a boy.
Perhaps this is the key to explaining her desire to be androgynous later in life?
Don't go looking for explanations too quickly, miss. Look at the oddity. This father she adores is just as terrifying. When he returns from the 1870 war, his face disfigured by smallpox. He becomes an alcoholic and beats his wife, who witnessed every day's infidelity.
They must have hated each other very much.
The worst thing is that this marriage started out as a real passion. Rachilde would later say that you should never marry for love. It always ends badly. Stop being romantic. I'm going to confide in you a key to her childhood, a memory she recounts towards the end of her life. According to my memory, she said, I used to feel embarrassed when people talked about wolves, because after all, I was telling myself that they were my brothers. My father had gone wolf hunting one day. He'd caught a wolf, and he did what we usually did in Périgueux. I don't know if you know it. A horrible thing. We nailed dying or dead wolves until they expiate. It was as if we sought their hard souls. But it's not a reason to make them expiate so harshly. I went to take a look. I took a lantern. I took the path to the big oak tree where the wolf was nailed. I always see that wolf, which looked like a skin with nothing but legs. It didn't move. It didn't complain. It just growled dully. I walked around the tree, where it was, and I took it down. It rolled on itself, absolutely like a skin in which there's nothing left. I didn't see it run away. It didn't complain. And then I ran away, because by then I was afraid.
Did she consider the wolves as her brothers?
Strange, isn't it? It was said that her great-grandfather, a priest of Périgueux, was a werewolf because he left the church to live with a woman. Had the curse ran down to the 5th generation, Marguerite was considered as a werewolf. Even her mother believed it.
The wolf brother she was running away from was like the first monster, which would have chased her all her life?
But a brother both terrifying and terrified, we would also have nurtured and protected her. If she was devoured and pursued as a child, it was rather by the dread of her visions or nightmares. I tell you one. A monstrous thing rises above the dark water of the estate pond, a sort of huge, pallid corpse, its arms outstretched, its head bobbing on its shoulders, and the water all around seems to rise in horror. in great mute waves, and a voice that is not human speaks through the night. You will never speak. Never.
But about what?
We don't know what this ghost of a drowned person wanted her to hide, because that's what she did. She kept quiet. But from then on, she wrote like a mad woman. That's where her vocation came from. She was 12 years old.
What precocity! It's as if she's getting ready to conquer her shadows and demons, as a cavalry officer attacks his enemies, saber drawn.
Her father's true daughter. With her soldier's audacity, she dares send at the age of 15 her first short story, First Love, to her living God.
Victor Hugo! It's true! I've read that, and the craziest thing is that he actually answers her. Do you remember what he wrote to her?
Let's ask his ghost.
Where is he?
In the literature section, letter H for Hugo. Where else?